Welcome everyone to another episode of Feedback Learnex. My name is Juan Carlos and we are here today in this beautiful location to talk about the fine arts. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you like? Do you like art? Do you like painting, architecture, cinema, theater? Well, we're here to find out and learn more about all of this. Of course, all in the English language in this beautiful palace. Have you guessed it? That's right, we're in Bellas Artes, the beautiful fine arts palace here in Mexico City. Let's learn, let's have fun, and let's see what we can find. Let's go. Let's look at the history of fine arts. The ancient Greeks studied artistic representation, especially Aristotle, and understood it in two opposable categories, higher and lower. However, the term fine arts was used from the 17th century to group the artistic practices valued at the time. The higher arts were considered the most powerful and transcendental, and those that impressed the highest senses, sight and hearing, fell into this category. On the other hand, the minor ones were simpler and were enjoyed through the less transcendental senses, according to the Greek vision, which were touch, smell, and taste. But what are the fine arts? Let's take a look at all 7 of them. Number 1, architecture. Architecture is a fine art in which ingenuity and aesthetic delicacy are used to create buildings that are in harmony with the rest of the nearby environment, as well as being striking over time. The Pantheon of Rome, the Pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge in the United Kingdom, Himeji Castle in Japan, or the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona are some examples of works of international architecture, a luxury for our eyes. The second art is dance. Dance is the art that tries to communicate beauty through body language, executing rhythmic movements, although these movements do not necessarily always have to be accompanied by a tune. Some of the most noticeable dance works have been those of Domenico de Piacenza, Marius Petipa, Agrippina Vaganova, or Hanya Holm. Then we get to literature, the third art. This art allows us to convey emotions, experiences, and opinions in the most precise way, since it uses the language itself to communicate. The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Life is a Dream by Calderón de la Barca, or Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes are some of the greatest works of universal literature. Painting conveys beauty through the use of visual techniques, whether on canvas or on any other material that can be painted on. Some of the best known paintings are The Scream by Edvard Munch, Guernica by Picasso, Girl with a Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer, the prehistoric paintings of Atapuerca in Spain, and what is probably the most famous painting in the whole world, the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Sculpture. With sculpture, forms are created in 3-dimensional space. The techniques for this vary, such as making reliefs, modeling, carving, or sculpting, using various materials, such as clay, stone, or even bronze. The Discóbulos of Mirón by Eleuteras, the Christ the Redeemer in the city of Rio de Janeiro, or the Pietà by Michelangelo are some examples of famous sculptures. And then there's music. Music is a sound art, governed by principles such as melody, rhythm, and harmony. Sounds emitted with various instruments, whether string, wind, or percussion, can be used, in addition to adding the human voice to the artistic ensemble. From the melodies sung by zithers by the Greeks, the works of Mozart, Vivaldi, and Beethoven are a tiny portion of all the musical works that mankind has created. And the seventh art, cinema. Cinematography has usually been called the seventh art because it has been the last fine art to be admitted into the official classification. Cinema can be understood as a way of transforming theater into something crystallized, something that is perpetually recorded on videotape. Charles Chaplin, Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, Quentin Tarantino, or Pedro Almodóvar are just a few examples of great film directors. And we've come to the end of this magical journey through all the fine arts right here in this most beautiful palace of Bellas Artes in Mexico City. Next week, we're going to bring you some more information in order to further your learning experience. My name is Juan Carlos. This was Feedback Learnex, and we'll see you next week.